All right, last lesson for the week. Before moving on to the lesson for the day, let's again look at our math skill work. So 92 times 67. Hopefully you're getting better at this. 7 times 2 is 14, carry the 1. 7 times 9 is 63, plus 1 makes 64. Remember to eliminate your 1 after you put your 0 down. 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1. 6 times 9 is 54, plus 1 makes 55. 4 and 0, 0. 4 and 2, 6. 6 and 5, 11. Carry the 1. 5 and 1, 6. Remember, you only need to put your 644, 55, 20, and 61, 64 down in those boxes to make sure you get your credit. But again, hopefully you are getting better at this. I am envisioning things based off of at least a student who's trying to get better and who's following along at the right pace. And I think those students who are actually trying to get better and following along are getting really good at math, so that's a good thing. 5 times 4 is 20, carry the 2. 5 times 7, 35, plus 2 is 37. Bring your 0, eliminate that mark. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 7, 56, plus 3, which is 59. 0 and 0, 0. 9, 12, carry the 1, 6, get rid of the 1, and there you go. All right, so that's your multiplication. Remember, with these, you are using your logic and common sense to figure out whether we are adding the numbers and subtracting the numbers. In this case, we want to know how much Black scored altogether. So to me, it makes sense that we would be doing 73 plus 43, which I guess we could do on paper, but I'm not going to. So 116 would be it. White 54, Black 26. Looks to me like this one's the one where I want to know how much White won by, because I can see that White won. We're smart enough for that, but how much did they win by? Remember, to do that, we subtract. So 54 minus 26. Oops. 54 minus 26. Let's try it again. 28. And that would be your answer. So again, the only thing I'm trying to do is make sure you learn to use your logic to get used to the thought process of, do I add these numbers or do I subtract these numbers? Last week we had 2 lessons and 1 review day. And that's because the material was so important. I wanted to give you more time to digest the process. This week is the same. The simplify then solve process is a very important thing. The only thing that I'm not doing is putting them on the other side of the equal sign, because you'll see that next year anyway. I want to be sure you get the chance to grasp the concept before moving on. So the problems covered today are just a way of revisiting the types of problems that we've covered this week. So with that being said, everything that's on here is on your quiz. If you can understand everything here, as long as you don't do anything crazy, you should be okay on your quiz. We know that we moved the 4 because it's on the bottom by multiplying. We should know that 3g comes down with 24. We should understand that's 3 times g, which means we divide by 3. Divide by 3. G comes down with 8, and that is that. So again, hopefully these things are getting easier. That is the plan, at least, that they should be getting easier if you've been following me. 14 equals 7/3 e. Again, to get rid of this 3, which is what we're supposed to do, we multiply by 3. I don't know what 3 times 14 is, so we'll do long multiplication. 3 times 4 is 12, carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 makes 4. Notice you can do long multiplication anytime, anywhere. 7 times e means divide by 7. Divide by 7. 42 divided by 7 is 6, equals e. That is your answer. Sorry for the speed, but again, at this point, you should have 2-step equations down. I don't feel like I should. I mean, you can always remember, you can pause the video and copy what you need, but my speed on your explanation is because I am confident that if you're here with the right level of preparation, you don't need me to slow down for that stuff. And if you do, it's because you haven't practiced, so make sure you get on your practice. Solve 5y minus 6 plus 2 equals 21. This is where we have like terms. It's -6, +2. This is also where we can use our comprehension of the final score game, the stupid game I made up for you, to think, if I have 6 negatives, 2 positives, who won by how much? I think the negatives win by 4, because 6 minus 2 is 4. If you're using a calculator, you simply type -6 plus 2. Notice you still get -4. So we're right. It's just, again, making sure you learn to translate that over. After that, we're going to move the 4 by adding it. I keep thinking ahead of the answer. This is 5 times y, so we will divide by 5 and get our answer. And that's all. All right. 9h plus 3 minus 7, 77. So again, with this, we are going to put these two things together because they're both like terms. Positive 3, negative 7. Who wins? By how much? To me, I think the negatives win by 4. There you go. That's it. From there, we move our 4 by adding 4. I'm sorry, I need your proof, don't I? So 3 minus 7 equals, there's your negative 4 again. So again, you don't really need to check anymore once you kind of understand it. 9h therefore equals 81. This is 9 times h, so we divide by 9, and h equals 9. And that is all. Solve 6x minus 3 plus 2x equals 21. In this case, these two things go together because they're both x's, they're both x terms. 6 plus 2 makes 8x. Bring down the rest. Now we solve like we did last week anyway. Move the negative 3 by adding 3, 8x comes down with 24. This is 8 times x, so we will divide by 8, getting x equals 3. And that is all. All right. 8m plus 7 minus 3m equals 42. 8m negative 3m. This is 8 minus 3, which means 5m plus 7. And again, if you're thinking I'm moving too fast on that, that's because that was chapter 5. And again, I move under the assumption that you're watching this thing with at least a decent amount of practice on your side, because I can't explain everything like we've never seen it. Otherwise, all these videos would be 20 minutes long, 30 minutes long. And I know that you're definitely not trying to sit here for 20 minutes. So 5m comes down. 42 minus 7 is 35. This is 5 times m, so divide by 5, m comes down with 7, and there you go. Today's homework is almost an exact replica of the quiz you have tomorrow. If you work to get comfortable with the homework, then your quiz should be more manageable. I hope I spelled that right. Remember to use the similar problem button to practice each type of problem that gives you issues. That way you get more fluent. Fluency is important. Fluency is me seeing 8 times 7 and automatically saying 56. It's not me seeing 9 times 4 and going 9 times 4. That's 9, 18, 27. Like, I still get to the 36, but fluency means right when you see it, you know that this is 36. Right when you see 11 times 4, you know it's 44. Right when you see 5 times 7, you know that it's 35. That's the fluency you need in terms of your solving. And the only way you get fluency is by practicing. So if you hit that similar problem button, even if you got the problem right and you have time, hit the similar problem button, go through it again until you can just zip right through it and pretty much say, like I'm doing here, this makes 5m plus 7 equals 42. I'm subtracting 7. 5m comes down with 35. I'm dividing by 5. M equals 7. Not what do I do? Oh, okay, yeah, I subtract and things like that. If you're still pausing through it, that means you're not comfortable with it, which means, I guess metaphorically, that you're still walking up the stairs holding on to the rail. And at some point, you understand that you don't really need to hold on to the rail because you've walked up enough stairs to know how to do it. You can even do it, walk up the stairs in the dark. So anyway, sorry I'm going a little bit too far, but I just like to make sure you understand things. Outside of that, again, good luck on this stuff. Test quiz tomorrow, test next week. Make sure you're keeping up. And again, make sure you're communicating if you're having issues.